Hi, I'm Sara Dickinson with the Art Gallery of Hamilton, and this is my friend Bean, and we are so glad that you could join us today for AGH at Home's Storytime. And today we are going to be reading Sky Color by Peter H. Reynolds. Published by Candlewick Press. Marisol was an artist. She loved to draw and paint, and she even had her very own art gallery. Not all of her art hung in a gallery. Much of it she shared with the world. She painted posters to share ideas she believed in. And at school, Marisol was famous for her creative clothes, her box of art supplies, and her belief that everybody was an artist. Yes, Marisol was an artist through and through. So when her teacher told the class they were going to paint a mural for the library, Marisol couldn't wait to begin. The classroom buzzed with the sound of brainstorming. The students talked and sketched, and together they made a great big drawing. Then they marched to the library. "I'll paint a fish." "Ooh, I'll paint one too." "I'll paint the ocean." Marisol shouted, "I'll paint the sky." Marisol rummaged through the box of paint, but could not find any blue. "How am I going to make the sky without blue paint?" The bell rang. It was time to put their brushes down for the day. As she climbed aboard the bus, Marisol kept wondering. All the way home, she stared out the window. The sun lowered closer to the horizon. Later, at home, Marisol watched day turn into night. That night, Marisol settled into a deep dream. She drifted through a sky swirling with colors. The colors mixed, making too many to count. In the morning, Marisol stood waiting for the bus in the rain. The sky was not blue. She smiled. At school, Marisol raced to the library. She grabbed a dish and began adding colors. This one, that one. She swirled the brush to make an altogether new color. Marisol then began painting on the wall. A boy asked, "What color is that?" "That," Marisol said, "that is sky color." The end. Thanks for joining me for our story. Now, Marisol used watercolors, and if you notice, Peter H. Reynolds used watercolors as well to create this story. All his colors are used by watercolor paints. And so I thought perhaps, since last week's theme was collecting, that you might like to collect up some old markers that have dried out. And we're going to recycle them and make them into watercolor paints. First, Crayola markers work really well, but this one isn't a Crayola and it's worked really well as well. So what I did was I collected up some jars and I just put a little bit of water in each one. I took the cap off the marker and I just stuck it in and let it sit for about 3 to 4 days. And this one has turned into a beautiful purple. We've got a lovely blue, We're working on the red. And this one is very kind of lime green. Now I'll show you very quickly how well they actually work. If I just dip in, just give you a couple little swipes, if you can see that. Try just a little bit of the purple. And if you're interested in learning and doing a little bit more watercolors, Tyler Van Holst will be giving a workshop next week on watercolors. Look at that go. I thought it might be nice for us to see a few examples of watercolors, and I asked Christine Braun, the AGH's collections manager, to give us a quick peek into the vault and see a few watercolor paintings from our permanent collection. Have a look. This is the Art Gallery of Hamilton's vault, and it holds over 10,000 pieces from our permanent collection, featuring local, national, and international artists from the past and present, ranging from paintings, drawings, printmaking, photography, and sculpture. The first watercolor painting I'd like to share with you is called The Lippard Farmhouse by Canadian artist Carl Schaefer, and this was painted in 1935 in southwestern Ontario. What do you think of his sky color? What colors do you see? What else do you observe in this painting? This is a watercolor painting by Canadian artist Jack Bader. He called this Souvenirs from New Brunswick. Now, New Brunswick is a province that sits on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean. Can you pick out a few of the souvenirs that Jack has included in his painting, inspired by the ocean? What do you see? This is by artist Gershon Iskowitz, and he was born in a small village in Poland in 1921. I found this interesting. One of his favorite pastimes when he was young was watching movies. And Gershon would exchange drawings of matinee idols, or what we call movie stars today, in exchange for free admission to the movies. This piece is untitled. What would you call it? Can you think up a title? Thank you so much for joining us today for AGH at Home's Storytime. And I hope I see you next week. Bye for now. Ooh, ooh, ooh.